Hey, this is Emily at Inflatable Kayaks, and in this video, I'm going to help you choose between the awesome AdvancedFrame Sport Elite kayak and the equally awesome AdvancedFrame Elite kayak. They look kind of the same, and in fact, they are the same length, the same width, and a very similar design, even similar colorings now. And a lot of people ask, what's the difference? Why would I choose one over the other? So we're going to go through what makes these kayaks awesome and how you should choose which one is right for you. So they both have the unique and patented AdvancedFrame design, and that basically means that inside this shell on the outside, there is an aluminium rib in the bow and in the stern. And it basically gives you this beautiful hull shape here, which really cuts through the water. You can see it peeling away the water here, and it also prevents the waggle that you sometimes get. So anything in the AdvancedFrame line is very minimally wind affected, stays relatively fast and straight on the water for a fairly short, fat kayak. So they both got that in common. They both also got the drop stitch floor. Drop stitch is a fancy word for a chamber that's stitched top to bottom all the way through, so that when you inflate it to high pressure, it stays flat, like it maintains its shape. Think of inflatable stand-up paddleboards, and you've basically got one of those in your kayak. It dramatically increases the speed of the kayak and helps with the tracking and helps with your paddling position, which we'll talk about in a bit. So both of them have that unique feature. And you can see it in this video here when we look at the performance on the water. They're both paddling really nicely, like very minimal waggle for, these kayaks are only 3.2 meters long. They're not very long kayaks, and look at how fast they go through the water. Look at the minimal waggle, and essentially they're basically making it at the same time. So performance-wise, they're both excellent. That, for me, wouldn't necessarily be a decision point. This was our wind test. It's not the most scientific thing. We just plonked the kayaks in the same spot and see how fast they got blown. And again, they're the same, right? So speed tracking's the same, wind effect's the same. A lot of the features are the same. They're both great for relaxing. They're both really comfortable. They're good for a casual paddle, but they've got also these beautiful seats. So they've got a raised bum pad, takes a bit of the pressure off the hamstrings, and a beautiful lumbar seat if your lower back needs a bit more support. And what that drop stitch floor and that foam padding means is that you sit quite high in these kayaks, which really helps with your paddling position. So although they're great for just a casual sort of paddle and comfortable for relaxing, if you decide you want to get some exercise and really work on your technique, or even if you're just against wind and tide and you need to paddle, efficiently and effectively, they're awesome for doing that. So I love both of these because I like a bit of both. And we have heaps of customers that love these kayaks, like the drop stitch floor, it really does help you track fast and straight. This is from Christine, 50-year-old female. My second time out was 2 hours, wouldn't blink to go on a much longer paddle. So they're both capable of full day trips, they're really very good kayaks. Now here comes the difference. So you straight away see that the AdvancedFrame Elite is heavier at 16 kilograms than this Sport Elite at 13 kilograms. And I'm going to explain to you why. So one of the reasons is you are able to put a spray skirt on the AdvancedFrame Elite kayak. The spray skirt's wonderful. It extends your paddling season into the winter and starts it earlier in the spring. Keeps you dry if you're doing open ocean or choppy or rough conditions. Sometimes multi-day expeditions, and a lot of our customers end up doing multi-days even though they don't start out intending to. They just get more and more adventurous. So this is what the AdvancedFrame Elite can do for you. And the reason it can do it is it's got inflatable coaming around the cockpit. And the cockpit's quite a bit smaller. So this is a wide open cockpit on the Sport Elite. However, it doesn't mean that you're going to be sort of enclosed necessarily in the AdvancedFrame Elite, because this is actually a zipper. So you can unvelcro and unclip here, you can unzipper, and you can still do dogs and kids and whatever you like in the AdvancedFrame Elite. And you can see you've got bigger deck space if you did want to go on an expedition than what you get on the Sport Elite. So that would be one decision factor. Do I need to put on a spray skirt to stay warm, to stay dry, to extend my season? Do I ever think I might go on a multi-day expedition? And I should explain, that's one reason this one's heavier, because you can imagine having more deck and there's inflatable chambers in that coaming is going to add some weight. There is in fact another reason that the AdvancedFrame Elite is slightly heavier, and it's to do with the durability. So they both have the beautiful ripstop polyester deck. They both have the triple layer PVC tarpaulin hull, extremely tough. They both have the multi-layer construction. So what this means is they have an inner tube, then they have a cover on the inner tube, and then the cover sits in the shell. So you can see that puncture just is really quite impossible. Never say never, they say. But I can tell you in 15 years of selling these kayaks that it's extremely rare for anyone to get a puncture from the outside. They both have the drop stitch floor too, which is a really tough, durable floor. However, there is a difference. When we get to the AdvancedFrame Elite, there is a difference in the inner tube. So the Sport has one main inner tube. The AdvancedFrame Elite actually has two. There's a vertical wall, we call it a baffle, of PVC that goes all the way around the inner tube. So you have the inner tube and the outer inner tube. And for whatever reason, and I'm not an engineer, for whatever reason, it gives you more rigidity in the water. And also it's there for safety. So the manufacturers have given the AdvancedFrame Elite an open water rating. And this is a great way to sort of feel safe. If something does happen to one chamber when you're in open water, you've got the other chamber. Now, I sort of feel like the Sport Elite is still pretty safe in the sense that you have that drop stitch floor, which is a very buoyant chamber. So up to you whether you actually go in open water. This is just to do with the recommendation from the manufacturer and explaining the weight as well. Now, when we come to setup and pack away, the setup is very similar. The Sport Elite is about 1 minute less than the AdvancedFrame Elite because the AdvancedFrame Elite has some more combing chambers. But honestly, it's such a minimal difference. To me, that wouldn't be a decision point. When we get to pack away, same thing. Honestly, in this pack away, I just had a bit more sand on the AdvancedFrame Elite, so it took me ever so slightly longer. It wouldn't be a decision point. I mean, 3 minutes 41 versus 2 minutes 30. Here we go. So this picture is showing the original AdvancedFrame, but we used to sell this with the drop stitch floor in a bundle called the Flying Solo bundle. Very, very popular. That's why we were very excited when Advanced Elements came out with the AdvancedFrame Elite Kayak. And they're talking about the drop stitch floor. The drop stitch floor gives much better rigidity, stability, and increases speed significantly. So I am thrilled that we now have an AdvancedFrame with a drop stitch floor as standard. So if you want my opinion, it's going to come down to that spray skirt, that cockpit difference. Do you ever want to put on a spray skirt or have the option of having that, a lot of deck space there, and you're okay with a bit of extra weight, then get the AdvancedFrame Elite. If you're never going to put on a spray skirt and you really want something as light as possible, get the AdvancedFrame Sport Elite. I hope this helps. If you have any questions about either of these excellent kayaks, please get in touch. This is Emily at Inflatable Kayaks.